Amazing. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
How does it feel to be less than a week away from the
Oh.
show coming out?
We started, I feel like we shot in 2022.
We shot from May 2022 to December 2022.
And got cast the winter before that, like in end of 2021. Is that right?
Did you get cast?
Did you get cast?
Wow.
Did you see what she did?
No.
I got cast.
I don't know about you guys.
Lies.
There's a lot of love in the room.
Or around there.
Fine.
A few months around.
It's crazy.
On and
though.
around.
It's coming around.
So
It's
excited.
unbelievable, yeah. Yeah, less than a week. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. It always feels weird when a TV job comes on the screen because I feel like it's an opening night that I'm not going to be part of. At the theatre, you're like, you're in the wings waiting. And then the TV thing is like, and then it's on.
Yeah, and that's it.
And you're waiting for people to sort of respond.
No control.
We made the child and it's off. It's gone.
Yeah.
This is also such a great trio to have in the space together because obviously you all, like work together so well on screen, and I think I've got down the word here like duplicitous.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's
I had
good.
to
love
really
that.
say it like duplicitous.
Yeah. Yes.
But I guess for each of you, maybe starting with Adrian, how did it feel? You play, period characters previously, but how does it feel to play this particular character?
He's fun because he's bad.
Understatement.
We've had deliciously devilish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love that.
Duplicitous is nice.
That's good.
And just evil. The D's are good. I like the D's.
Uh-huh.
But
Alliteration.
he will deliberately do anything he can
You're too much.
to make sure that he delivers his idea of the kingdom, because he believes that the wrong person is on the throne, and he will do anything he can to get the right person on the throne.
Yeah.
Because he believes that that's his duty to the kingdom. So, yeah.
And for you, Alice?
What was the question? I just got so distracted with the alliteration.
We've come like so far around.
I'm sorry.
What do I like playing?
Yeah.
Thank you. I was so enraptured by these scripts, and I didn't know the full arc of Sophia, but I knew a little bit of where it was going, and I found it really fascinating that kind of really quickly she starts off one way and shifts pretty dramatically in another direction, and it all kind of tracks. It all makes sense. There isn't like, it's not evil for evil's sake. It is like, I'm trying to protect my family, and then I get a bit carried away with it. And so I love the tracking of that and kind of seeing the origin story of her a bit.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to do any of these things before, period. And work in London, all that.
Yeah.
And I guess for you?
I feel like kind of the opposite. I got to be evil for evil's sake. Very nice. I think Thomas and Sophia have opposite character journeys in the sense of where they end up from where they started. And I don't know, it felt like just a great opening to a show. Like, it was such a challenge to think, like, Thomas kicks it off in a way with Nell. There has to be this quite insane rivalry, and it was a bit about being very impulsive and felt like a bit of a challenge, and massive challenge. Was really terrifying, but it was nice playing bad as well.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I feel like episode 1 could be an entire season itself. It's like there's so, when I read what was happening,
There's
and I was
so
like,
much happening.
there's
in
so
that
much.
first episode. Yeah.
That's Sally's writing. Sally's writing is brilliant.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, that first episode alone, first scene with Louisa, that fight scene, like, breathtaking. I was hooked. I was invested. And then obviously Jake, we get your character, and I'm like, just why?
We've had a couple of those over the last couple of days. Being
Such
like,
a
what's
jerk.
wrong with you?
Who are you?
And I'm like, I don't
We think we represent the people who've been misunderstood
Right.
and haven't been given enough hugs as
Right.
children. That's our character.
Yeah.
I mean, I think even, I guess, just for your character alone, Adrian, I need like a full backstory, because I think there's bits that I didn't clock onto, and then I kind of rewatched and I was like, oh wait, there's something more is going on here.
Yeah.
Lots of detail in there.
Actually, for Jake, funnily enough, I said, your character Thomas is quite tyrannical, and essentially drives the plot for Nell. I guess you've already answered this question, but what was it like playing the character that, gives so much weight to the show?
I mean, I've kind of definitely wasn't thinking about it when doing it, which I think is always a good way to kind of be. I felt like I didn't really know what I was inside of and was quite overwhelmed, to be honest. And, like, quite just trying to, like, cling on to things. And more in retrospect, yeah, you realise that, like, the rivalry begins with those two. But I felt really safe with Ben and really safe with Louisa to explore those scenes. And it was so on the page. He was so unlikable and enjoyed being unlikable that you had to kind of go there. And I think the great testament to the writing and to the direction is that, like, no one pulls their punch. Like, it's really
Literally.
serious.
That's good.
The threat is very real, which I think
Ben wanted that.
I hate you right away.
I think sometimes you could easily, you know, as a family show, you could miss that. But, like, we're not nice people.
No.
It means you really love Nell as well. Which
Yeah.
So you want to get me
Hate
sorted
us,
out.
love Nell.
No, it was a real gift and a privilege. Yeah.
And I guess for you, Alice, I mean, like, your character kind of has a bit of, like, growth. Like, you know, we go through the episodes and she's a bit sort of, you know, towards the back, and then suddenly she's very much in the forefront. How was that character arc for you? How was that journey for you?
It was so much fun to play. I think something that Ben and I talked about in the beginning, you know, was I remember saying to Ben Taylor, I was like, I really want to make sure that it makes sense, that it's not just like this quick turn sort of for no reason. So to build that, and he was really careful with that as well. And what I think for Sophia is that it's one of those things where it's like it always has to be there. So it doesn't really come out of nowhere. It's always kind of like bubbling.
There's a Blanchford bloodline.
Yeah.
Sinister level.
And that for her whole life, like many women in, I guess, 1705, 1704, they don't have a platform to speak. They don't have, you know, any kind of support to live in their power. So the amount of, like, rage and unvoiced years of silence to finally be able to unleash that's I think where that comes from, is we get a little bit from here and then it's like finally.
You said 1704, I was thinking 1804.
1804.
1904. Same
No,
thing.
now.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Be quiet.
Yeah.
It's rage.
Yeah.
I think you're going to get a lot of, like, you know, there's, like, female rage edits. Like,
I love it.
Yeah, on
What's
social.
a female rage?
Jake's like,
What
what's
is
a
that?
female rage
Like a
edit?
TikTok?
Yeah.
Is that a TikTok?
It's like a
Maybe.
trend, yeah.
I
Like
love that.
a lot of people, you know, like taking, you know, like great scenes from TV shows and films and like like cutting them and like dubbing them and just acting them out.
I love it.
Yeah.
Maybe
Oh,
there'll be a sequence for you with your wig
Like a you shall not pass.
and the tights and stuff.
We weren't talking about my tights. Sorry,
Okay.
We love
you're
your
saying-
tights.
you're
We love
saying.
your
They're
Oh
red.
man, you'll find out all the edits are by me.
Like, Jake, take a break.
Actually, I did want to touch on your character and particularly, I suppose, makeup. You know, you have a lot of tattoos. We
Yes.
see.
Tanya Mimi spent ages putting that
Yeah.
tattoos on.
I was going to
Is that a
ask
spoiler?
how.
Are we allowed to say that? Is
That's
that-
like
is it-
M2, I think. You
is
see
that-
No,
the
that's-
movies
yeah,
M2?
that's-
Yes,
that's
okay.
early.
Yeah.
Okay.
And too.
How long was that process?
A while. Took a while. I was there in makeup with my shirt off, just, you know, lounging around. They
Sounds horrible.
Thanks for that. They had to apply each one separately. They didn't want to do lots of like the same, like a mirror image. So if they were very, very aware that in this era of pausable TV, you have to be able to pause it at any moment and go, that's right.
Yeah.
And know that their work stands in that way. So rather than filmed content or content that was, you know, on videotape and so on before this, we got to this point. And makeup were very, very, very specific. And they put each one on individually. And made, I think, if you look carefully, some of them are moving as he starts to do his...
Oh, that's so cool.
That's
Yeah,
very,
I
very
love
I
cool.
never noticed that.
Did you?
Did you
know?
Of course I do.
There's a little
Okay.
bit of movement. And so it's
Well,
all,
I'm
you know, it's wonderful. And then Ben, the director, bringing all of that together,
Yeah.
making it so rooted and grounded and real. It was fantastic. I love shooting
Amazing.
that bit.
Thank you so much, guys. I've been told that I'm out of time.
Oh.
I could do this all day, but
Lovely.
unfortunately,
This is
you
great.
know, the powers that be.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you so much.
Say no.
Thank you so much.
Really